Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Blockbuster, the party game. Let's check it out. Setup for the game is extremely simple. What you're going to do is take this little cardboard piece that looks like a cassette box. It even says, "Be kind, please rewind." Love that. You're basically going to stick this pole, this little sign through here. It's nothing but looks good on it, the old Blockbuster sign. That's all it's really there for. You got this little timer here, you got your head-to-head cards here, and your movie deck here. And you're going to have two teams, one on each side here of the parking lot with these here. And what you're going to do is one person from each team is going to go head-to-head. They're going to grab one of these head-to-head cards, and they're going to start this timer. And so they start the timer, and then they'd read it off. And it says, "Hey, movies with a dog." And someone says, "All dogs go to heaven." And then he hits the button, and it resets the timer. And the next person says, "Lassie." And he hits the button, resets the timer. And it keeps going on and on and on until someone, there you go, you hear that noise. When you hear that noise, that means someone took too long, because you're going to run out of movies that begin with the dog. By the way, there's a rule here. You can't name sequels. So if there was a Benji 2, you couldn't name Benji 2 with this. You couldn't name sequels. So whoever wins the head-to-head is going to pick 6 cards, the top 6 cards from the movie deck. And they're going to choose 3 of them for themselves and give the loser of that head-to-head the other 3. And they're from all different genres here, and they're divided by color here. And so I'm going to look at these, and I'm going to say, I'll pick these 3. All right, so I give these 3 to the other player who's going to be having his team guess. Now, out of these 3 movies, Karate Kid, Jaws, and Saw, I'm going to have to put them in one of these 3 parking lot areas, which means one of these I have to describe using one word and having the my team guess it. Another one I'm going to have to play here and quote from that movie to see if they guess it. Another one here, I'm going to basically play charades and act it out. Now, you won't have these face up. They'll all be face down, but at any time, you can look at them. And you don't have to do them in this order either. You can say, "Hey, I'm going to do the quote first, then I'm going to act, and then I'm going to do one word." Now, again, you may not be familiar with one of the movies very well, and you may just put it in one area and go, "Nah, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that. I'll focus on these 2." Because you're going to be using the same timer. As you see, it's a very short timer. I think it's only 30 seconds to try to get everyone to guess all 3 of those movies. And any movies they guess will be correct. So let me flip these over just to kind of show you again how a turn would work. So as I hit that button again, I'm going to try to define each one of these 3. So let's say I act out a scene from Saw and someone finally guesses it. Then I say, "Hey, we're going to need a bigger boat." And someone says, "Jaws." I say, "Yeah, one word, describe the Karate Kid, bonsai." Maybe that's how you do it. Now, the only rules about one word or quotes, you cannot say a quote like, let's say it was a Karate Kid here. "Oh, I'm going to teach you karate." You can't say the word of the actual title, especially as one word here. You can't say karate. You can't do that. So you can't say the word or anything that sounds similar to the word. I don't have a good example here, but anyway, or maybe I could just move this around here instead of quoting there and one word here, say shark. I could do that. And someone would probably get Jaws. Anyway, you're trying to get all 8 different kind of genres. And as you see, we have all-time classics, family, and horror. The other ones here that I gave the other guy were sci-fi, fantasy, animation, and drama. And then the other 2 are action and comedies here. Now, this is shuffled up, so you won't get a nice mix like this. I just kind of picked these out for the review. But you're trying to get all 8 of them to win. Now, at any time you have 3 of one particular genre, for instance, let's say I have 3 actions. I can cash in all 3 actions and steal one of the other player's movies. So maybe to complete it, I needed a comedy and I had extra action cards. Maybe I have 4 actions. So I trade in 3 of them, put them in the discard pile, and grab that one's comedy to win the game. But of course, the first one to have all 8 of these wins. And that's the game. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, guys, I'm not a big fan of party games. In fact, I only have one in my my collection, and it's not this one. Now, I'm going to have to keep it because the missus loves it. For me, it's okay. The main problem about this game, it's a fun game, lots of nostalgia, love the packaging, but this thing does not remain shut. As much as I try, it keeps opening up. I can never keep it shut, so I hate that, but I love the packaging. It looks like one of those old video rentals there, the good old days of Blockbuster. Blockbuster, you know, world renowned for movie rentals, and now they've been downsized into just this party game. So nostalgia people for Blockbuster, you may like it if you like party games, but replayability is terrible for this. We played 2 games and we went through more than half the deck of movie cards, which means we could have played one more game without having to repeat. But the fourth game we would have played, we would have had to repeat some of the movie cards we already played with. And that's bad. There's a big problem there. Instead of just printing 1 on there, they probably should have printed like 4 and you get to pick 1. I don't know, something like that. But unless this comes out with a lot of expansions, which they could easily do, they could easily make packs, big packs of movie cards to add to this. But then the problem is, where does it fit into the packaging? It doesn't, unless you make a whole different case for that. I don't know, maybe they could. But I don't know, like I said, nice idea, just poorly executed, I think, because the replayability is not there. Now, if you shelve this like I am and bring it out next year like I may, then maybe you'll have enough for replayability. But until they get more movie cards, I'm gonna have to say pass on this one. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, game on.